So Jai Gurudev, today I have with us Tom with us. Tom is a volunteer from Croatia. So one fine day he came to our GPV desk. We are all doing Seva in GPV desk, information desk. So from front desk he came to GPV desk, and firstly he read a knowledge sheet from an intimate note to the sincere seeker about Prarabdha Karma something. And while he was departing, he surprised everyone by chanting the original verses from the Ashtavakra Gita. So before going anywhere else, Tomji, and he has a very good command over Hindi as well. So Tomji, where did this inspiration of learning? Because we have many Indians who read Ashtavakra Gita from Gurudev's books, but and talks also, but they don't know the entire chants. So how did this come about? Can you elaborate in detail, please, Tomji?
So I know only small part, and Gurudev taught me by his lectures, audio and video lectures. I heard it so many times. Then in one moment it came some inspiration. Okay, let's put some more effort. Let's learn it. And what helped me a lot was my Guru Puja classes. Then I learned proper uh, Sanskritam, and then before of that, I had a very beautiful lady. She taught me Shiva Manas Puja, Lakshmi Ashtakam, Bhavani Ashtakam, Linga Ashtakam. So all Adi Shankara stotras. Yeah.
So you actually know them by heart, not just the meaning, the actual Sanskrit chants of all these Lakshmi Ashtakam and Adi Shankara Ashtakam. You know all these by heart, by chants. And can you, if that is true, can you like sing a few lines from that? Any whichever you are favorite.
Uh, I cannot do it all because I was a little bit lazy and my memory is not that perfect. But Lakshmi Ashtakan I can do by heart because I'm chanting that for last almost year every day.
Yeah, only sample one or two lines.
Yeah. Om Namastestu Mahamaye Shri Pidhe Surapujite Shangha Chakra Gada Haste Mahalakshmi Namostute Namaste Garudarudhe Kola Sura Bhayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Sarvagne Sarvavarade Sarvadushta Bhayankari Sarvadukha Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute.
That's so wonderful. It's so humbling. Okay, we think we have studied so much, read so much of engineering and maths, and then we don't know the Sanskrit. We know the meaning of these lines, but it's so humbling that somebody coming from outside and has actually taken the efforts to memorize everything. And same goes for the Ashtavakra lines also, the lines which you chanted yesterday, I think 2 days before.
Yes, I can chant some. I do here and there some mistakes, and I could be much better if I would put more effort. But sometimes is out of laziness, sometimes out of some job I have to do, then I'm losing the focus. You want me to chant now?
Yes.
Okay. Janaka Vacha Katam Gnanam Avapnoti Katam Muktir Bhavishasi Vairagyam Cha Katam Praptam Etad Bruhi Mama Prabho Ashtavakra Vacha Muktimicha Sichetata Vishayan Vishavatyaja Kshamarjavadaya Tosha Satyam Piyusavadbhaja न पृथ्वी न जलम न अग्निर्न वायुर्द्यौर्न वा भवान् येषां साक्षिणमात्मानं चिद्रूपं विधिमुक्तये यदि देह पृथक्कृत्य चिदि विश्राम्य तिष्ठसि अधो नैव सुखी शान्तो बन्धमुक्तो भविष्यसि.
That is so fascinating. You know all these words like in such great depth and detail. So, can you tell us how did it all start? So, when did you do your first course, and were you like into Indian spirituality before even doing Art of Living in Sudarshan Kriya and Gurudev, or after meeting Gurudev you got into so much of depth of Indian spiritual thought?
All started when I was 9 or 10. I was doing Nauli, and I don't know why. Did I see it on television or it was just some impression? I really don't know. Then after that, with 15 or 17, I don't remember, I started to read Hare Krishna books. Then when I was studying, I was 20. I feared a little bit. I'm engineer in food biotechnology. So I had exam in physics and I was a little bit scared of that. And I went regularly in my library to read the newspapers because they will buy every day, and about sports, basketball especially, and this kind of stuff. And then in one moment on my door it was leaflet: Maharishi Mahesh Yogi connected ancient Vedic science with physics. So it was like a sign for me: physics, I'm struggling in that, I will go for lecture. And this library was only 2 minutes from my house. So I went there. Then I told this guy in the lecture after that I don't believe him anything. And if he wants, I will come to be initiated because something is dragging me to that, but I will not pay. And he was probably the only teacher for transcendental meditation in maybe Europe who didn't hesitate even for a second. He said to me, "Come Tuesday," it was 4th of December 1992, "bring 6 flowers, 6 fruits, and one, if possible, piece of cloth. If it is silky, then it's very good." So I was in that organization for 5 years, and this organization did some fascinating things that translated a lot of ancient scriptures to Croatian language. And for example, when I was like 23, I read all Brahma Sutras, 10 major Upanishads, then Bhagavad Gita, then Ashtavakra Gita translated to Croatian language, then some Viveka Chudamani, and lot of stuff. And some were like specialized Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's books, and one very famous was, one moment, I need to translate. In Croatian is Znanost o bitku I umjeće življenja, and in English would be knowledge about the being self and the art of living.
Yeah, that's a famous book by Maharshi Mahesh Yogi. So you actually got to meet Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, or you were only part of the organization? You never saw or met him?
No, I never met him, but one fascinating story is that when I was 23, we were students and we didn't have a big amount of money those days. And then our teacher, he was like totally hippie guy, very loose, very young, and he liked a lot of ladies. So, but he would bring us there and he would cook something very simple like khichdi and some salad or something like this, and then we would hang. There were no bhajans those days in transcendental meditation, so we would hang, we would watch some movie like this, like some small community. And then one moment I saw that he is collecting money for one lady to go for, we call it today Sayama, and before in TM it was called TM Siddhi program. And it was because TM is our older brother. So I said, I will pay you now for your meditation lecture. And what he did actually for all of us, because we were students, we didn't have enough money, he connected to the top of organization, and Maharishji, he gave blessings that we don't need to be in the same hotel, which was expensive for us to be initiated in Siddhis, that we can stay in volunteer houses. So it was big blessing for us. That's how I was indirectly blessed by Maharishi Ji to be in some special setting.
So he took care of your finances when you were struggling financially. Maharishi ji indirectly supported you financially in those days.
Yeah, we can say not supported, but saved my finances. Yeah, it was very beautiful.
And how come this transition from transcendental meditation to art of living come about? Because I think Maharshi ji passed away in 2007.
Yeah.
7. So you came to art of living before that or after 2007?
10 years before. When I was 25, and you know Mullah Nasruddin?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have like a famous character from Bosnia, which is Mullah Nasruddin, but in different name, Mujo. Mullah Mujo. It's a actual name. So I met one very, very funny guy from Bosnia. They are sometimes special because of the humor. Then he told me, Yaro means like, in Bosnian means like, you're such a good pal, such a good friend. So he told me, Yaro, you need to go to one course. There is so much energy. They are burning the sky, like illuminate whole sky with that. And we have girlfriends before marriage. So I had one girlfriend that I just broke with her. And I needed to come at the fourth stage of Sayama in TM, but these Indian city administrators, one couple, PV and Lata, they were struggling with some visa. Some game was there. So it was cancelled. And I had the money for that. So I could go with this good guy, funny guy, to the new course. And I came there, but my girlfriend also find out that I will be there. So she also came, and I saw this guy at the same course. I thought he experienced that. That's why he is telling me about this burning the sky. But he was for the first time also at that course. And it was Art of Living course. We didn't have any Art of Living teachers in Croatia those days. And came one beautiful guy. He was also mentioned in Ashtavakra Gita. His name is Bhupendra Yagatia, and we called him Bhupi. So my ex-girlfriend was also there. So my first two kriyas was crying all the time from her. She was screaming, crying. And I felt some saliva inside. So I was all the time spitting out. And it was kind of the feeling like I ate cardboard. You know, cardboard like this. It was crazy altogether. Then Bupi was very skillful guy. So he said to us, please, last day, you bring a guests. And he said, we will then give a lecture for the guests. So I was so inspired. I called my parents and my friends, and I hoped like, oh, when my parents will go through that, we will have ashram in our home. But then he said some funny story. Our background is kind of from our country. We separated from Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was communist and socialist part of the country. Both parties were there, and with this kind of background, you will do mistake if you say money is not important. So he did exactly like this at the lecture. He said, I was so successful lawyer. Now I'm doing just volunteering. Now I'm 10 times more happy. And my parents says, okay, goodbye. No, my ashram. But then after how many years? I think after 8 years, my ex-wife, she was like very good in calling people for Art of Living courses and that. So we have donational courses sometimes in Art of Living in Croatia. and then my ex-wife, she called my mother. So actually, I was a teacher for my mother, and it is like I always have this joke like I I did better than Buddha because his father always told him, "Remove this robe, come, you need to be king."
Mm.
So it is like that.
Okay, so this is late 1997, 1998, and you were like a teacher to your mother. And when did you come to India and actually met Gurudev?
No, I met Gurudev for the first time. It was 8th of January 1998, if I am not wrong. Maybe even in the summer 97. So this Bosnian guy, he started to call me in a different places. He was Sai Baba devotees. So he called me especially during Mondays and Sundays to Sai Center to in Mondays it was very interesting because we had one popular country musician who was Sai Baba devotee, Hrvoje Marjanovic, and then he took his time to teach us bhajans properly because and he was cocky guy, lion, so he would go properly everything with a serious mustache, and and then where what was the question? Aha,
Gurudev,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
97,
yeah,
late
yeah, yeah,
97.
yeah. Then I remember 97th, I don't remember, but I remember that he came to my town, Gurudev, 8th of January 98. And then I took, like, I do not click Gurudev's pictures because then I would ruin this memory. So what happened actually, those days, Gurudev started to hug people, maybe 3 years before. And he took us all in the line and he was standing and one by one from the line were coming and hug him. So I didn't ask this friend to take a photo, but he actually made a photo for me and present me that photo. And then I had this photo and I said, this one is enough. I'm hugging Gurudev. Goodbye, no more clicking. That's how I met him.
And then you actually became officially became a teacher. You're anyways a teacher to your mother. And when did you officially become the teacher?
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing story. So I was always cocky and stubborn and ego is a little bit more emphasized in me. It is I'm builded like that. Some people are taller, some people are smaller. In me, this is like that. So I always like a question. So I did like this. We were in German ashram, something like 98 or 99. And I came to his door, I came inside, and I said, okay, do you want me to be a teacher? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, when? And he said, this year. So I felt I'm very special. I will go home, I will just sit, he will bless me, and I'm a teacher. Goodbye. No more like this TTC, TTP, VTP. It's not for me. So I just sat at home for 1 year and nothing happened. So then I was a little bit disappointed, just a little bit, like salt in the soup. I was normal devotee, everything, but I said, "What is this?" He said he promised, and he didn't deliver. But okay, maybe something funny is happening. And then I finished my university, and I started to work. And I worked in one beer filling factory, and I worked like shifts. So I worked every day for 4 months. No pause. For example, you finish your night shift in a 6 o'clock in the morning. You need to come at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. to new shift. And I worked like I had a 2 hours traveling from my hometown to this smallest nearest town. And that's why this is interesting. Our beloved Nitin Limai. Those days he was Nitin Limai. He came to our town. And okay, uh, you you think I am good in singing, but we had satsangs that you know how Nitin Lemai used to sing, how Rishinitya Pragya. So he came and he was so amazed. Everybody who comes from India to Croatia, because we are very good in pronunciation of Sanskritam, because we have almost all these letters in our language, except Tata Dadhana, S, and maybe this R, Ru. We don't have that. All other, and you actually do not have a, we have two ch. We have ch and ch, like you have ch and ch. So it's interesting. And then he was so amazed, and he came to our satsang. He was having fun around everything like that, but it started with a DSNs. So he called us during satsang to DSN. It was second one in Europe. First one was in Italy, second one in Croatia. And I came to him, I looked him in the eyes and I said, I would like to come, but I have a work now and I don't have any free days. And he told me like this, come there, go there and tell them this is very important to me and ask for your free days and come. And I, of course, think I thought too much. I didn't go. So I go to them, to my boss on the of the factory and the company, and I didn't say exact words. So I said, "Can I have a free days?" He said, "No," and I stand because this ego was thinking, "I'm a man. I need to deliver." What DSN? I even don't know what is that. I'm now working shifts. I'm a real man, real crowd man, this and that. And then I gave the money to my ex-wife to go and my wedding witness. I loved my wedding witness very much. And they came back. I would usually say like her name is Katarina, my ex-wife. So she would not touch the earth when she was walking. And then she's starting to tell me there is no problem, everything is here, like this high Vedanta. And I told her, you are now bullshitting me. I'm working shifts. You just came from the course and now you are tra la la. You are studying and I'm paying for your studying and telling me this. What is happening here? And then these two ladies, they were so inspired, they wanted to go for TTC1, because those days no, it was not VTP, it was 2 weeks of TTC1 and 2 weeks of TTC2. So I gave money to my ex-wife and they start to telling me you need to go with us to TTC1. And I said, how? They don't give me free days and stuff. And I gave all money to my ex-wife. And this wedding witness, she said, no, I will borrow you money. Money is not the problem at all. You go and ask. And I asked, and they say, yes, no problem. You can go for 1 week. And I went to TTC and I had a joke like, okay, now if they fire me, I don't care. I will stay second week. So I finished with TTP. I came to the company. Nobody said anything. It was just like normal, like I had 2 weeks, and that's how I started with the Art of Living TTC.
This TTP was in Croatia or was it in German ashram or in
German
India?
ashram. German ashram. We had two. We had a very nice teacher from USA, Janelle McQueen, and she used to say a joke during TTC1. She used to say, "You know what, Gurudev? He calls me Janelle, my queen," like this. So she was immediately in love with my ex-wife. So she told her, "Please come with me to Boston." She was from Boston, and then you will be teacher there. Although we were just finishing TTC1, and and for me, she had a plan that I worked there. So it was a little bit strange for me, for my ego.
So after doing TTC, you did not take courses. You went to Boston and started working there.
No, we didn't go there at all. So she needed to finish the faculty, and I came and worked there in the company. So there was one very interesting story. I am more into people than to the tasks. So it was one very nice guy there, a little bit simple, from the village, and I used to speak about religion with him during our work and stuff like that. So it was like I connected with him. I even brought him some small Bible and stuff like that. And her name is Ivica Svetec, and Svetec means, this is literally means saint. His last name was Saint in the dialect. And I spoke with him. He was like a very simple guy. He thought, because I finished the university, he just has a primary school. Like he's honored to speaking with me, and I was honored actually because he's pure heart. So I like him so much. And then it was one very terrible accident when I thought heaven fall on my head. This is from Asterix and Obelix. I don't know. Do you know these guys in India? You know this cartoon?
Which
Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
their head of the village was so afraid that heaven will fall on his head. Several times in my life, I felt like this heaven fall on me, on my head. So this was one of these incidents. So I hate snitch and spying on people. So if we are on the same level in organization, I can speak with you about anybody, no problem. But if I go to my boss and I'm telling there what you did or what anybody did, this is like
Petty
low,
politics. Petty politics.
low level life, like rats. Okay, maybe for us is good example rats. For you, there may be saint or whatever, mushika vahana, but you understand cockroach. We find some low on a scale of ecology, low lived life form. That's for me that. So this guy from the same village but better educated and smarter, strong guy, we used to carry over our back around 5 to 8 tons per shift. So me also. This guy started to tease this Ivica, simple guy, in front of our boss, and I was so angry. So when boss went, I tell to this guy, "Hey, why did you tell him that?" And he said to me, "Shut up, go at your workplace." And he was younger than me, so I was hurt. Then I was cleaning my workplace, but he come actually to help, and I went with some bag full of aluminum tin cans for beer, and I a little bit pushed him, and then he pushed me, and I fist him into the mouth with the fist. So it was like, wow, what is happening now? Like my first workplace as a supposed to be engineer, I'm punching guy, and like, what? And then guy said, he was with the blood, and he said, "I will wait for you outside." And then outside he beated me in front of whole factory. It was in village area, so this fisting and stuff, it was like normal stuff, like a sport, but very ruining for ego.
So was the blood and you were badly hurt? Some fracture, something happened? No.
Not fracture, but it was very interesting stuff. So I was this boss of the company promised me that I will be shift leader, but he tricked me. Not only me, I was also applied to the job, and two ladies with also finished university. One was a University of Natural Science, and one was engineer of chemistry. And he tricked us. Actually, he put us to work on the line. But he said then, "Oh no, don't worry. Soon, 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 soon." And for me, if man is doing that, I think whole dharma is inclined, because man is creature of ego. Gurudev says, no, marriage and commitment. He says, lady are creature of emotions, man is of
Yeah.
ego. And what is holding the word? This is ego stuff. I'm a man. I will hold my word no matter what. And then I was I was annoyed with him, with his lies, but also amazed, because he was so skillful guy. He would go under machine and he himself would repair. He was almost at least for two shifts there. I noticed that.
Was he also associated with Art of Living and Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, or nothing?
He was associated with crooked mind. He was like a cheating person.
No, while working all this while in beer factory or whatever, did you feel that pinch, because Art of Living and Gurudev is like very much against any kind of alcoholism or any
Oh,
kind of intoxicant. So
very good
was it
question.
pinching you inside? "Okay, I am doing this business where I'm promoting alcohol, at the same time I'm working for an organization which is so much for peace and meditation and breathing."
So I was not thinking about Art of Living organization at all. I was just for me there breathing, and that's all. But I would drink very often with the friends, beers. Then we have one combination of Coca-Cola and wine, red wine. So we called it Bambus. And after my TTC 1, I stopped. I stopped with drinking. I would I would put water in the same cans, and then I would sing with them, work with them, everything that. But I would have water and behave like a drunk. You know this, the must calendar must. I would be that, like a drunk calendar, you know. And then after this feasting with this guy, uh, they they had a fun on me. This boss of the company. Nobody was angry. They were just making fun because I lose outside like that. And this poor guy, he was very young guy, so it was nothing for him. But he had an artificial tooth in the number 1. So next day he was like, his knees were full of blood. He would lost his tooth, and I looked like I just came from the spa. Like nothing on me. He beated me, but I didn't have any mark, anything like that. So then what happened? I knew how I will finish with this company. I just
You
came.
finished that job, beer job.
You know how?
Oh.
I knew how this guy is. When I come there and when I ask about conditions he actually promised, he will fire me. So I came there, I looked him in his eyes and I said, "Man, what is happening now? You promised that. Now you do not deliver." And he said, "Oh, no, no." And he was like mumbly guy. You cannot understand him. He would mumble like that. And then on the board, it was I think 27th of December 2000. After my 5 and something months, uh, I was fired and 5 more people. And what was good in all of that, I had some free days, so it was not exactly 27th, it was till 31st of December. But what happened, my company, which I dreamed about, which I asked when I was studying, they gave me job by themselves. They called me from 1st of January. So I just skipped from one company to another.
So, which type of company was the second company? What was it based on?
Water and fruit juices.
Juices.
Water and fruit juices. Mineral water and
Okay.
fruit juices. Yeah.
Okay, so that is how you sustained your finances. And during all this while you were doing your job in beer company and then switched to water company, and you have done your TTC one, your parents were all for it. They were also doing meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, and were
No,
they
not at
supportive?
all.
They were supportive. Like your mother, was she also doing Sudarshan Kriya? Father, was he not like, why are you doing into meditation, spirituality, Sudarshan Kriya? You should be making a lot of money, getting a big house.
Totally like this. No, they didn't support, but I was always like mm, some, let's say, um, au- authority in the house. Like they would be against, but they will tell, but not too much. They knew how much they can go, because my father, he's a Croatian nationalist, so he do not like too much other countries. He thinks like he's beautiful guy with a beautiful heart, but in the politics we are on totally opposite sides. And my mother is also with me, and he he thinks like Hitler was a really great guy. They just didn't allow him to finish the job. Like this kind of crazy stuff. But at the same time, he would help poor people. He would cry if he sees some injustice. So it's totally strange, and that's why I have named Tomislav. Tomislav is the first Croatian king. So my mother actually wanted me to become Igor. But my father said, "What? Is he a Russian or he is Croatian?" Actually, he said, like, is he made by Croatian? So he just went to the municipality and he said, he's Tomislav, goodbye, no more talking about. So they didn't support, but they didn't annoy. And then it was very funny story how I came to TTC2. You want to hear that?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
So I didn't do almost anything. So after TTC1, you have some tasks to do, to give some intro talks. And I was on a bare minimum. And there were some people in art of living hierarchy who were like judging who is doing of the new people enough. So there was like hierarchy of TTC1 people. So hierarchy was going from 0 to 10.
Mm.
So they have their favorites at a 10 or something, and then some people at a 5, then some people at a 3, then some people at the 0, and I was at minus 10. So because I was always telling them the stuff how they are behaving stupidly and stuff like this, especially when I see that they're spying and they're giving some reports on me or on other people. This was
So
like
you were a victim of some little politics, which is
not victim. I was just laughing at it, and I say, if you want to play like this, I'm not in the game, and goodbye. And then what happened? I went with my ex-wife on one very famous Croatian mountain, biggest, like in the kilometer squares. So this mountain is a national park, and only one mountain has more species, like more plants and animals than whole England. So I was there and she was a little bit lazy. She would usually sleep a little bit later. And I would those days awake naturally around 5 o'clock, this kind of stuff. Although I was young. And now I'm older, now I'm awaking Brahma Muhurta. I'm before Brahma Muhurta. So I was there on the top of that mountain. She was a little bit down, like 10 meters of altitude, and she was sleeping in some hut. And I was sitting there doing Sudarshan Kriya and watching the mountains after Sudarshan Kriya. And these mountains was giving me some lecture. I cannot describe it better, but it was some guru to me. And then I was so inspired. it was no mobile phones those days. At least we didn't have. So we went to some mountaineer's house. There was like a public phone, and I called one friend and I told him, please send application for my advanced course to Badantugas, to German ashram. And then uh, I came there. It was good advanced course, nothing which I didn't experience more. But then at the end, I told you I do not take too much clicks of Gurudev. So I told to the people, give me photo cameras and you go into picture with Gurudev. They're all standing around. And then people usually are crazy if you're doing that. Then they said, no, you need to come into picture. You need to come into picture. So I didn't have much place. I stand exactly behind with Gurudev. So he was looking at me and he said, ah, do you teach? And I understood that as a joke. So I watched him and I, I said, I don't, but I will do more now. And I understood actually that he's telling me, do I hold public lectures and like intro talks? And then he repeated, ah, do you teach? And then I cracked the joke because I'm stupid. So I said to him, oh, I just look like a teacher, but I only finished TTC 1.
Mhm.
This look like a teacher was my joke. And then he said, oh, you need to come. And these two persons who were judging about activities and stuff, giving reports, they were in the room.
Mm.
Their names was Susanna and Benny. So they were bigger people than I thought.
Mm.
I thought they will stop me, but sometimes it's happening in hierarchy, like they'll put you in hamstring roll. So you are running from this person to another, you don't achieve anything. Oh, this department is for that. No, no, you need to go to another department. I hate this stuff. So but they behaved differently. They took me by hand and said, yes, you are going, we now go to a TTC teacher and she will take your name and everything, you are coming to another TTC. And I was a little bit surprised, what is happening here? And then my dream company, they didn't give me free time. Then I needed to wait 6 months or something like that for another TTC. Then I finished.
And during all this while, were you able to persuade your mother and father to do the course?
No, 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 not in time. Not at all.
Even till today, they have not done the course.
My father till now didn't do anything.
Mm.
He is like a Catholic Christian and like this.
And
He
mother?
mother was from atheistic family. My grandpa from the mother's side, he was in one concentrational camp when he was young. SS army took him from Croatia. He was from Serbian background, and they put him into concentrational labor camp to work. So my mother was not raised as any religious person of
So
any
no
religion.
art of living in your mother or father. No art of living even till today. You are
Mother
the.
mother did the course, but she do not practice.
She did the course.
No, no. But I couldn't I couldn't call her, but my ex-wife did, and then my aunt did also with them.
So some of your relatives did the course, and all this while from 2000, after doing your TTC 1 and TTC 2, did you take many courses, or you were more into reading Gurudev's books and listening to talks, maybe on DVDs or YouTube, or you were taking doing seva work while teaching?
Okay, so I took those days many courses, all what was possible, and till now I didn't go for Upanayan, and I didn't go for Shishi Yoga. All else I did, I think. Guru Puja, the Essence many times, the Essence at least 4 times, then Advanced Course, Blessing Course, Siam 1. Now I will go to Siam 2, just to repeat with Gurudev.
You're going to Vilnius?
Two?
Lithuania, there is a SIM2 happening
No,
there.
no. I will
You'll do in
stay
October, Ashram, Bangalore,
September. I
September.
will do September here.
Mm.
Yeah, I will stay here till 27th of October.
Till 27th of October. So you took many courses in Croatia. Zagreb is the capital, no? That
It's
area.
my town, my hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you took all around Zagreb, like more than 100, 200, 300 people, or lesser or more?
You think with how many people
As a
I?
teacher, how many did you take people?
Oh, that I don't know.
You did not count.
No.
Okay. And
But let's say all together as participant and as a teacher, I was on more than 200 courses for sure.
more than 200 courses, and
Yeah.
every course at least maybe 10 people minimum, right?
No, no, it would be smaller also
Smaller
sometimes.
also.
Yes, 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 yes.
So maybe like 1,000 people you covered, at least 1,000 people.
Maybe, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
And all this while, since you were already before even 2017, 25, you have read so many other Indian spirituality books, not even associated with Gurudev. After coming into Art of Living, when you so much of Gurudev's literature on Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Ashtavakra Gita, Kenopanishad, Kathopanishad, and then so much of Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Vasistha,
Yeah.
you covered that as well.
Almost all. Somehow I didn't finish Narad Bhakti Sutras. And my wedding witness, she was in love with Narad Bhakti Sutras, so she asked permission from Gurudev to take knowledge, to take pronunciation and stuff, and teach people Narad Bhakti Sutras, how to pronounce. And I was in love with Ashtavakra Gita. But I have also three other very important Gurudev's knowledge, which I perceive as very, very important. One is Upanishad, not Kata, not Isha, not Kena, just Upanishad.
Okay.
And another one is knowledge and how to receive it. And one which I do not have, I just saw once in the one advanced course with one beautiful teacher. He's not more a teacher of advanced courses nor in Art of Living. His name is Roberto, and he had one lecture, and it's called Sex and Organization. This was for advanced course teacher. So if you can find this lecture, I would like to have it very much.
Yeah, and so you did not finish Narad Bhakti Sutra and Upanayana. Upanayana, why you did not do? Did you not get time, or you did not take it seriously, or what?
No, actually, I didn't want one more ritual with which I will be forced to do, and I will have some kind of bad feelings if I don't fulfill my vow.
Okay. Actually, Upanayana is basically a simple initiation. Like you have formal schooling, you do school, college, university, then you do your job in Indian culture. So if you saw, you know the story of Lord Rama. Lord
Some
Rama.
parts I know, yeah.
So when Lord Rama goes to Gurukul, the first thing they'll do, the teachers they'll do is they make them do the Upanayana, and then the rest of the education starts. Same with our Gurukul also. The first thing which you have to do is Upanayana, and then your proper Vedic education starts. And what about this your long term coming to India? When did you first come to India, to Bangalore, and your close association with Bangalore Ashram? And did you travel to rest of India? Your entire experience other than Croatia, maybe rest of Europe or US if you have been, and specifically to India.
So first I came. Also, it was connected with my exi, and that is Gurudev. She was at advanced course, I was not, and then Gurudev specifically called her to come with me to opening of Vishalakshi Mantap as a guest, as
2000.
his guest, 2003 or 2004. I'm not sure when was exact opening. These 2 years, it was one of these years. And you asked about traveling during India. I have some ideas that this is not popular, but I will tell anyway. That tourism today is forced, especially to the ladies, because ladies are beautiful and they like to be on some clicks, like to see some places and stuff. And we men's, we are more simple. We are just following, When they are doing in a bunch, we will go there. If all ladies will play tennis, for example, or basketball, much more men will come also, because they are like flowers in our life. So make our life beautiful. I have a lot of problems with ladies. I'm not always like this, but I'm basis is like this. What I think. So I didn't travel almost anything in India. I wasn't going Taj Mahal or anything. So 2003, when I came back from India, uh, then my colleagues in that dream company would ask me, "Did you see this? Did you see that?" I said, "What? Not at all. I came only for one tourism, and this tourism was going inside like that."
And ever since 2003-4, you have been coming to ashram, Bangalore ashram, or this is the first time you have been for such a long time?
No, no, no. I did. I came uh, 2006 for celebration, famous celebration, and the big
World Culture, first World Culture Festival.
Mahasudarshan Kriya live with Gurudev at airport.
Yeah.
Then I was 2016 in Delhi, and then after that I divorced, and I, let's say, bade my ex-wife to go with me because Gurudev married us 2000, and I bade her with money. I said, "Please come with me, I will give you this money. I promised in next year I will give you now. If you come with me to Gurudev, we speak once again about our divorcing because we have two kids." And then I was also forced to go from this dream company. Like I was fired, kind of. They said, "You want to go by yourself and we will give you a bigger amount of money, or you want us to fire you and then you will receive less money." So I choose to go. And it started my Sadasati also this year. And then we came to Gurudev, and then he was speaking with us, and we finished about this private stuff about divorcing. And this you can also ask me, but if you don't ask, I will not tell, because it is also about her.
Yeah.
And then she's also advanced course teacher. She's DSN teacher and VTP teacher and stuff like this. And then then I asked Gurudev, "But what do you think about my career? What should I do?" And he said, "Go to India for several months and do seva. Don't look for the job now." And I came. I was for, I took least possible few months, what he says, and it was 2.5 months, because after in January, my older daughter, she had a birthday, and I wanted to be there for her birthday. Yeah.
So this is which year? 2017.
16 to 17, and then I came 2017 again, because this started my therapist part of the career. So I was here. I like to play street basketball, and I was here. And 7th of January 2017, Gurudev came from USA with one gentleman. His name is James Stone. We called him Jim. And Gurudev put him on the stage in amphitheater, and he said, "This is a very great healer, came from USA. They will teach one technique. This is great technique." And then I was around in ashram already for 1.5 months or something like that. So all these Indian ladies and other ladies who were now my age, so I was like 8 years younger, they had some troubles in the body. So they were going on me because they think like all internationals are eating together. So I sing this gym every day. and I didn't see him for days at all. And they said, please tell him I want to experience this healing technique. This is great stuff. This is great stuff. And I didn't see Jim. Then in one moment, I met him in three our friends from Croatia came, and one beautiful lady Ljerka, she was here for 4 years doing seva, and she was translating Upanayanam to people. She was so devoted. She knew how to chant Rudram and all this stuff. And she was wearing white all the time because she had some sankalpa, she will become sadhvi. And with her came one couple, and they wanted to be married in a traditional Indian marriage in Gurukul.
Mm.
So I didn't know those days, but they needed brother of the bride to give her to the man, and I played the role of the brother. And then we have fun, ritual was there, this and that. And then we came to Panchamrit restaurant because they wanted to celebrate and give us some food and stuff like this. And suddenly James was there,
Mm.
James Stone. And I jumped and I came to him and said, Jim, where are you, guy? People are bothering me. They want to have this treatment, this and that. And he said, you know what? I was all the time in apartment. I'm in Sudamini and I was ill. So I said, okay, okay, no problem. And then I cracked few jokes and he liked me. And I have one joke about that. I says, people who like me, they have very good taste to understand who is a great person.
Mm.
And then he told me immediately because he was hippie
Mm.
movement. So I usually remind some people on somebody.
Mm.
Before a few weeks there was some Indian guy in the our international counter, so he said, can I take a picture with you because you look exactly like some name, this guy who invented C++.
Mm.
So I came again to myself after that. I said to people, I almost became so rich. I
Mm.
look like this guy, but I didn't invent. So back to the story about Jim. So he saw that I look like some hippie musician from the past. And I
Mm.
said, yes, yes, I am that. So he laughed and he went. And
Mm.
after 1 week, I met him. He was sitting in front of old secretariat and he was alone. No ladies around him, nobody dragging him to do the treatment. And he was just sitting there.
Mm.
And I came to him and I said, oh, how are you? From which town you are exactly?
Mm.
And he was from Dallas. And this was my, like, wow, because I'm basketball fan. And those days, the best European player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, was playing in Dallas. But I'm crooked guy. So I said to Jim, did you go ever for NBA games? He said, did I go ever? I had yearly ticket. I was on every game.
Mm.
But then I said, okay, I know almost by heart 1/3 to 1/2 of the team from very famous Dallas year. It was 2011. So it was only 6 years before Jim and I met. So if he do not know his stuff, then he is lying. He is not that good in basketball. So I said, do you know that team? He said, of course I was there. Then I started to speaking about Jet Terry, then Deshaun Stevenson, Peja Stojakovic, these other players, Tyson Chandler, and and he knew the material. So I said, "Oh, Jim, now we are talking." And then I have, out of playing in crazy fashion street basketball, I have some small injuries in my heels, in my knees, and especially in my sacroiliac bone. This is near base of the spine. So I told him, can I come for your treatment? And he said, no, you don't need to come. I will solve it now when you are standing. And he came and he do like this, like few flicks on my sacrum and on my neck. And I tried, I wiggled a little bit with my tail, with my low back to see is it better. It was really better. I said, what is happening now?
So was the treatment part of Shishi Tattva Panchakarma or was it some specific?
This is Meru Chikitsa.
Meru Chikitsa. Okay.
And then I was inspired. I told him, can I come for the course? And that's my therapist part of life started, which I feel now that is finishing.
So you have become a Meru Chikitsa doctor as well, therapist?
Yes, Meru Chikitsa therapist, and I started to work here immediately in India because I'm like this. You immediately jump or it will be hard for you to start. And then I I noticed in Europe I wanted to do, but Jim was always telling you can do, you cannot do, because it was whole kind of education was for Indian people, not for outsiders. And then one moment they were stopping me. I was working from here and there in a Shishi studio in Paris, not all the time, but I would be a guest therapist kind of. So one day, this my friend Camille, he said to me, "No, now it was information. We cannot promote anymore Meru Chikitsa in Europe for you, not for anybody." And it was 2018. So I was so insulted. It was so not fair because nobody told me directly. And then I said, okay, what can I do now? And then I noticed actually with Meru Chikitsa, I do not treat enough people. And I was at a middle management position. I earned really good money before. Then I thought, okay, what can the guy like me do? I cannot do marketing. I hate marketing. I cannot do PR for the treatment and be independent, that I hate even more. So many lies in that. So what will I do? I can only learn more.
Okay.
So I invested like $20,000 in my knowledge. I went to so many courses. I started with sport massage and passive stretching, and then Bowen treatment, then Dornbrois, then dry needling, part of acupuncture in American way, then Lomi Lomi massage, then Gestalt massage, Ayurvedic therapist. I finished also for not for whole Panchakarma, for part of Panchakarma treatments like Shirodhara, then Abhyanga, two-handed and four-handed Abhyanga, Udvartana, and Pindasveda.
And what about after 2018, post COVID? You have been regularly coming to Bangalore Ashram, and all these years you have been daily doing Sudarshan Kriya without break from 1997 98, or you have been irregular?
I was pretty regular, but not every day. Like, for example, every year I would miss maybe 1-2 days.
Okay, out of 365 days, 363
Yeah. Very, very small amount of days. Why I was not that regular was my Sahaj Samadhi.
Okay, Sahaj.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about after post COVID? This current 2022, 23, 24, 25, and this current your tenure of seva. This is a very longer term.
Wait, I have one story before. So it was 2017, and I took one sankalpa. I heard that Rishi Nitya Pragya and Tanujaji, they told once, if you do 6 rounds of Padma Sadhana a day, and I was divorcing, so it was my will to divorce, but at the same time I had 2 children, 2 daughters, and then it was very hard because I was always like this. I was dragging to go from out to relationship. I will give a new chance, this and that, blah blah blah. And then I took Sankalpa to do a lot of Padmasadhana daily. I did sometimes 6, sometimes 4, but not less than 3 a day. And I took also one other Sankalpa. I had a joke, like I didn't sit on the floor usually. Um, I was sitting on the chair and I had a joke. I'm sorry, but I'm not from India. I'm from Croatia. We are sitting on the chair. But this is not good for flexibility of your legs.
Correct.
And then I removed chair. When I took this Sankalpa in Padmasadhana, I removed chair also and I sat on the floor. So it was like crazy. I was like pushing, 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 pushing. And then it was 13 chapter of Bhagavad Gita organized in Croatia, Gurudev's lecture, in our Center of Art of Living. And I came there, and one stuff was very, very important to me. Gurudev says in one moment, I will now paraphrase, it's not his exact word, but he says like, don't ask me about stupid stuff. Don't ask me about which color of the carpet you will go. You just go. You have my blessing and you choose and buy. But don't go into that also, that you never ask me anything. And I was exactly into that. I look from up to these people which were dragging around, asking everything, stupid stuff. It was one event I remember. There was one lady who was just came to Art of Living and she had the cancer. And one teacher, I was not good with that person because her behavior. But I collaborated with her. We had some prison courses we gave together and everything. But I was usually quiet and it was all what she said, like obeyed I was. And then this person with the cancer couldn't ask Gurudev for blessings for health because she was asking this and that and this and that and this. It was so horrible to watch for me, for my ego. And now I'm thinking, when I see that, what I do not like in behavior, I said to myself, did you come here for that, to correct that or not? Then I have my answer, no, I didn't come for that. This time I came here for my bringing up my health and if it is possible to gain Mahamoksha, to become Jivan Mukti. And in 2013 in that Bhagavad Gita, I noticed I was in that ego. So then I said to myself, okay, you will go out from these booths. You will ask. And we had TRM, Teachers Refresher Meeting, and in Badantogast. And I was not that good with other teachers from Croatia. And in TRM you usually have some plans and stuff like this, blah 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 blah, which for me looks like totally stupid stuff. If you plan without means and I was in the company for many years, but I do not realize that with volunteers is not the same as in the company, because in company you have a structure, you have a salary, but with volunteers is always chaotic. And I was sitting aside, I was dragging, or already divorced, and my ex was there, and we had these fermented emotions to each other. And then I came to this guy. They usually tell that I'm looking like this guy or like one teacher from Serbia. And I came to this guy, Mladen is his name. He is advanced core teacher for AMP. And I told him, because it was board. So he was writing our wishes on the board. And I just came to him like normally, like I would ask him, how are you? And I said, now please write. And he's older than me. So I said, now write. We need one Rishi in Croatia, one DSN teacher, one advanced course teacher, one every blessing teacher, one Shakti Kriya teacher, and this. And he just looked at me. He started to write, and he said, "Who will that be?" I said, "I will be that all." And it was, you know how rumors are going. It was so embarrassing to say this because they all was like to me, you're like low life animal. And then Gurudev came into the hall, and he was going from country group to country group, and I came to him, and I put my hands in Namaste, and I said, Gurudev, can I become advanced course teacher? And while I listed all courses and all possible positions which I could perceive as a high in art of living, because I said I didn't ask, and if now I ask, I can ask for all what I think it's possible. And then then he said immediately yes. And he said like this, Shakti Kriya now. And then there was Swami Jyotirmaya and our country coordinator. With both I had those days some fermented emotions. So they immediately started to coordinating me. Like they said, okay, because Gurudev said this word now. So for me, there is no other procrastination or stuff. He said now. And then they come to me and said, you need to assist with Swami Jyotirmaya 2 or something courses before. I was like shocked. Why are you now talking to me at all? Gurudev says now. And they were like, he is again. Just with the eyes you can see, he is again doing his bullshitting on us. He's a terrible guy. And then I I I I invented the idea I will go to India and I will do my assisting here, just not to obey to them. It
So
was fermented.
you came to India.
I came to India and I did 2 beautiful assisting. I know some Nadi Pariksha, you know. So there is one beautiful teacher. She is from my Meru Chikitsa class. And she's very enthusiastic, very beautiful. She's from Hyderabad or Ahmedabad. I don't know exactly. And she is also therapist and a teacher for art, excel and happiness and a lot of courses. And then Swamiji Atmanand supposed to have Shakti Kriya. And I begged him, can I assist? He said, of course, no problem. And then we supposed to have a doctor for health checking before. But nobody came. And she was kind of the doctor. She is naturopath or something like that. But she's very humble and nice person. So she was a little bit thinking how we'll do it now and stuff like this. And we didn't also have a meter for the heart blood pressure, you know. Nobody brought. And we were there. Those days, Dhyana Mandir was called Yagnashala. We were there and we were waiting for people, and people suddenly comes, and we didn't have tools to measure. We didn't have a doctor. So I said to her, no problem. Just send everybody who is suspicious to me. So I did some Nadi Pariksha on them. Then, you know, there was some, you know, that is for Shakti Kriya checklist. Some people were something in between. So I said, with the blessing, you will go. And few cases it was course around 40 to 60 people in the Saraswati Hall. And I was assisting first time. Second time I assisted for Shreya Didi. And it was all very beautiful. I will never forget that.
So you eventually became a Shakti Kriya teacher, advanced course teacher also?
No, after that, after it was 2017, I think 2022, Gurudev blessed me for VTP teacher.
You are a VTP teacher.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
What other courses you take as of now, 2025 July, which you take?
Wow.
Happiness, of course, is there. Happiness
I am
is one.
equipped to do many courses.
Officially, you have been blessed by Gurudev to take.
Yes, yes.
One is happiness. What are the VTP then?
Almost all. Like Prison Smart, Art Excel, yes. Then now we call it differently, but it is yes plus courses before. And VTP, Shakti Kriya, and now I am also blessed to become eternity teacher. But
Okay.
I'm waiting for my manual for now already almost 1.5 months.
You have been blessed by Gurudev.
Yes.
Okay. What else? Advanced course also, DSN also?
No, these two not yet.
Advanced DSN not yet. What else is there? There are many, 59 programs right now in there.
Yeah.
So out of 59, you have like 30, close to 30, 25, 30?
Now I don't have any wishes in that department. What Gurudev bless, I will be ready for that.
Acha, have you read that knowledge sheet? There are 5 types of seva. You have read that knowledge sheet and intimate note to the sincere seeker. There is the one which is when you do seva, when you don't even feel like you are doing seva. And then there's the second one, whatever is needed right now, you do it for that. Then there is the seva which brings you joy. And then there is this seva which you do to get some merit. That is the 4th category of seva. The worst kind of seva which you do for political to make an image to. So you're taking so many courses. How do you see that first level of seva? So because whatever courses you are teaching, basically in the essence you are doing seva itself, right? Whatever courses you are taking, be it as a teacher, a volunteer, or whatever you are doing basically seva. So which category of seva do you think you come across when you are taking your courses? And are you able to practice that best quality of seva when you don't even feel like you are not doing any kind of seva?
It is like a sea. You're going up and down. If you are lucky enough that you have a lot of prana, then on these waves you will be like a small ship who is going up and down. But all the time, bigger part of the ship is over the water, in the air, let's say. If you are not having enough prana, then it is like a small ship who is having hole, and it is struggling. It is going 2 meters under the water and then up, and under the water and up. This is like very dragging. So all these forms of seva I'm doing sometime. Sometimes I'm too shallow and I'm doing stupid jokes. I like to have fun, because if you're people's man, I also asked for Gurudev to give me another way to have a humor, and I started to read again this God loves fun and stuff like this. But it is in the progress, it is going. So I would say I don't know anything about seva, and I think all these 5 stuffs I'm doing sometimes. But I will tell you something. When you mentioned knowledge sheets, this is your friend. So when you mentioned knowledge sheet, I was very lucky one that I was, which knowledge sheet is 216th.
And the numbers I don't. If you will read the title, I'll be able to recall something.
No, I'm just joking. Title is Anuvrat.
Anuvrat. Okay.
So I was very lucky that I was there at that advanced course when Gurudev in front of us gave that knowledge. So
you can tell something, because from what I know, how knowledge sheets were created. So Gurudev would tell the topic, and suppose there are 40-50 people, everybody will say whatever they know, and there will be a paper